my car has been having battery has been dead or dying constantly for the longest time. It's a 08 TL, and I think my issue is I have a parasitic draw with one of the buses in the car, and this battery here, I had it written on it. This battery is at least 3.5 years old, so I think the average life of the battery is like 3 to 5 years. Depends on the environment that you're in, and obviously the amount of times that you drive it. This car, probably 20-minute trips before I, shut down for a couple hours, and then so it's not very long as far as a lot of cranks for short hops, so that kind of reduces the life also. So we're gonna replace the battery. I just picked it up from AutoZone. Something that I picked up from reading a YouTube comment, and it's probably gonna stuck with me also, but some guy was like, how do you remember what's his memory aid for the battery? And if you're gonna jump start your battery here using another car, his memory aid is red is first to the party and the last to leave. And basically what he's saying, that if I'm gonna hook up a jumper, and I'll grab my jumper just for demonstration purposes here. Basically what he's saying is most cars, especially modern cars, the polarity, you got to be very careful so you don't fry electronics. But basically what he's saying, so you have a ground, a black lead, black connector, and you got your positive, the live one. So if I was gonna jump start this using a jump box I have here, red would be first to the party, red would be the first to be connected, and then I would my car is gonna start making noise here, and then I would connect the black. Right, there we go. So red is first to the party, the first one to be connected, and obviously the second guy attending the party is a black guy right there, or not the black guy, but the black lead. And then to remove it, red is the last to leave the party. This guy's had so much fun, he's just, the last guy that he's so wasted. So we'll remove the ground, and then this guy, the red guy, the wasted guy, he's the last to leave. So that's the same method that we're gonna use to disconnect our battery and also reinstall the new one here. So I thought that was pretty nifty. In my line of work, we're always using stuff to remember additional stuff, ironically. So I'm just gonna get these, sorry, this video might take a little bit. And also something that you wanna note before you disconnect your battery, sometimes your navigation system or your radio needs a code. So just make sure you know your code before you disconnect the battery, because it's gonna dump the memory. I do have a memory saver, something that you plug into the OBD2 port or something that saves that stuff, and you can, buy a cheap one just so you don't dump those codes. If you don't have those codes available to you because the car is used or something, you might have to go to the dealership and pay for it or something, for them to give you that code or something, or call the manufacturer or something. But just be mindful that at least this car, when I reinstall the new battery, the navigation and the radio is going to be disabled. So we'll just take off this harness.
There's a school bus.
Are you excited about the school bus?
Yeah.
And for this, you only need to take it off to the point where you can fish it out. You don't have to take it off all the way. And I'm using a 10mm socket on a ratchet. And I would show you this, but I don't really want to reposition the camera. But you're basically just removing the harness. You can remove one side, but basically all you're doing is getting these J hooks from their little connectors down there by just undoing the 10mm bolts up top. And that's why I say you don't need to remove them all the way. If it's giving you more issues than not, just take them apart. And then we'll just remove the battery. So like we said, red is the last to leave the party. So we'll disconnect the ground here. And I know for sure that I need new nuts on these eventually. We'll save these little things right here, just because everything I have right now is packed up. And those are just corrosion inhibitors to help with corrosion. And then you can see on the battery that I have some kind of orange stuff sprayed on there. Again, that's another corrosion inhibitor I have on there. So again, disconnect this. You don't have to take the screw all the way off so you don't lose it. And then it's just a matter of popping this cover up and off. And this car, there's a couple, in order to take this casing out, you just gotta pop a couple connectors and lift this to the side. And our battery here should have a, so it doesn't have a handle. But we'll manhandle it. Can you hold this?
Yeah.
Without knocking over the camera?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna have to get my hands in there and fish this thing out. There we go. Try not to break. Ugh. Try not to break plastic.
Whoa. Ew.
And this thing in here has water in it.
Ew, disgusting.
Disgusting. So we'll just drain this water.
Drain this water? Oh.
So it's pretty nasty.
It's very nasty. Ew. What's this? Okay.
It's interesting that it has water in there. But everything else looks fine. That's a great time to look and see that I just popped this thing out unintentionally. There we go. I knew I shouldn't have set the battery on top of this. It was all plasticky, but I didn't break anything. So just take a minute while you have this out to like inspect stuff. Look around the car, see if there's anything broken or missing. And then we'll just slide this back in. It has some tabs on the bottom that keeps it from sliding too much. That's how you know you have it seated properly in this car at least. And then we'll throw our new battery in.
What? Huh?
So our new battery here just kind of falls back in place. And luckily for us, this one has a handle. They do sell like stuff, you know, that you can use to carry batteries. I do have one of those, but again, all right, you can let go.
Okay.
So we'll take a look at this new battery. This one is a Duralast 34DL 700 cold cranking amps and 875 cranking amps at 32 degrees Fahrenheit. The old one that I took out is, it's a 24 FDL 600 cold cranking amps, and it has 750 at 32 degrees Fahrenheit. So put in a bigger, more robust battery in there to hopefully give it more cranking juice. All right, that's fine, Carter. I'm trying to figure out how I had this tripod set up earlier. All right. So I'll also be replacing the battery on my wife's car. And of note, I'm probably gonna take this tray back out at some point once I get done with this move. Carter, chill with the noise, please. And drill a hole in it. I don't know why it's really catching water and storing the water. That's not cool. But yeah, I'm probably gonna take it out, drill a couple holes in it so it kind of leaks out to the bottom. These little tabs that protects the battery is just so you don't accidentally touch it and short it out. So we'll save this little cap. We won't break it too bad. So this is good to have, especially if you're working on your car. You can always, you know, cover them just so it protects you from like accidentally creating a spark or something if you're just, you know, disconnecting your battery or something, just so you don't have wires touching. So luckily for me, I'm replacing 2 batteries today, but if you can source these, throw them in your toolbox. They're great to have. So like I said, we'll put this back on. Get this out of the way. Make sure all these little tabs clicking in place. That's one of the most annoying things when I used to take my car to get it serviced at a shop or something. It's just like little plastic pieces that they don't pay attention to. I don't know, at least for me, it was kind of annoying. Anyway. Yeah, it doesn't look like this plastic necessarily wants to cooperate with me. I think it just has to do with the size of this battery. It's different. Yeah, this battery is being different, a different size. It doesn't want to play along, but we'll make it work. We'll make it work. It doesn't fit perfectly. I think it's just obviously a bigger battery, but it will do the trick. Try not to break it. And then, like we talked about, actually, can you see what I did wrong? I mean, chances are something is not working. Chances are something is wrong. I put the battery backwards, so that might explain why it's not fitting like the way it should. Give it a wiggle. Make sure that tray is seated properly. And then let's see if this thing fits any better. Well, not quite as far as the plastic part, but again, I'm just struggling to get this plastic to get down in this little area. All right. And you see that these batteries, these terminals are getting close, so I should have been just doing this, or I can do that or something. Just make sure I'm not gonna accidentally hit that unintentionally. No, this thing might cause a problem with this cover that I have, but we'll see. But we talked about it. Red is first to the party, so we'll get that on there. We'll get this tightened up. And what the heck is going on here? I mean, this video I completely goofed up. Yeah. So this battery clearly does not, I don't think this battery is for this car, because I thought I had it flipped around correctly, but clearly I don't, because I was connecting a negative just now. Oh, gosh, man. I was gonna stop the video, but I was like, what the hell is going on here? I might just go back and yeah, I wonder if they have, because my battery connector, I don't have, the positive has to be on this side. So the issue, I'll show you what I'm running into. The issue that I'm running into is this. So you can see the batteries are pretty much directionally aligned, and this is the old battery. The positive is on that side, which is fine, but the positive is on the opposite end of the battery, and my my connectors here is in the back. I don't have the reach to bring it all the way forward on this side where the new terminal is. So it was like definitely throwing me off, and I wasn't even paying attention. So I am gonna have to take a trip back to AutoZone to return this battery. And hopefully I'll just settle for, if they have one of these 24 FDL, I'll just settle for that, and we'll come back and replace it. Yeah. So you saw me make a couple mistakes with the battery installation there. One, I had the battery flipped around, but it wasn't really flipped around. It was just directionally different as far as the terminals. And then I flipped it again, and I started connecting the positive to the negative. Just because I thought I had it directionally correct. So we'll have to take a trip to the auto parts store here and get this fixed. And also the issue that I was running into was this thing. This clamp was not tightening up on the thing, so I'll have to get that rectified. I was gonna replace my the Weiss battery also, which we can see. Let's get the keys to her car. her car is not completely dead, but I do know the battery is acting up. Also, so we'll address both of them at the same time, and hopefully we're not having the same issue here. All right, let me just put this up. All right, so that's up, and yeah, you can see that we had the same issue here, where the terminal, I guess it would be like this. So this is gonna work. This will work for her car. Because this is in the back side and this is, yeah. So that will work for her car. It's kind of odd though that this labeling is gonna be all backwards, but that's the lease. So I'll at least replace this so I can take the core back and just make one trip. And then my car would be a no-go for that battery, just based on the fact that the leads just don't match up. Yeah, the leads just don't match up. It doesn't make sense. Yeah, shit doesn't even make sense. You can look at all three of them and there's like no consistency to positive and negative. So anyway, just a waste of my time, but I need to get this done. All right, anyway, I'm gonna get the Honda taken care of. I won't record that, and obviously I don't edit my videos, so we'll just call this one as is. Anyway, like on don't editing.